What advice would you give to someone who wants to be in the same field as you and to do the work that you're doing?
I know a lot of the time, someone in my position would say you should just start, or,
Yes.
just, but I think the most effective advice would be to start with a goal. I think, having something that you like to work towards will definitely increase your uptake of new information, and, will give you an incentive to apply it. That's how I got into tech. So I didn't want to learn coding for the sake of it. I was very clear that I want to be able to, code my own website so that they look the way that I designed them.
The answer is not a simple one, because I think it's more important to do things that you love than to do something that one thinks is fancy.
If you're a person that's keen on like asking a lot of questions and you're very curious, and you'd like to research, investigate, because the thing about data science is that there's no one road.
Yeah.
With everything, there's a lot of like different roads that you can take. You can read like a research paper and do the same experiment, but you get like different results and you interpret them in a different way. Yeah. So you just have to be a person that's keen on like reading up, because you gain more, you sort of gain more understanding as you go, like with experience when it comes to data science. The more you work on the data, the more you know how to go about handling and doing a lot of those processes. There isn't like a set methodology. Obviously there are guidelines, like you have to start there, but it's not set. So you have to be keen on investigating, being curious, asking questions, and just be passionate and love it, because it's very detail oriented. Like love data, love looking at the details.
Right. My advice would be not to give up, because it's hard. Yes. I think you're working in a field which is immature. So many people won't understand what you do. So my advice would be to stick it out and not to give up.
If you haven't started and you know someone who is in data science, whether you know them personally or you've seen them maybe on social media or on LinkedIn, you can start by sending them a message or approaching them and just tell them you're interested and you'd like some guidance on how to get into it. Usually it's easier to get guidance from someone who is in the field than trying to Google stuff for yourself. I mean, you will always Google stuff, but it's better to just find like guidance from someone. And then if you have already started and now you want to be better or to be maybe established, you want people to know that you're a data scientist, I would advise that you take on some personal projects.
Data science is a very applied field. It is theoretical, but it's like the theory doesn't make sense if you're not playing around with the theory. So one of the concerns I have is that we do that. We just go online, get a lot of certificates, watch videos, and then say we are data scientists. And then when I give you a problem, you really struggle to just understand what a mini batch is. Then when you're in the actual interview, you can't really solve the problem. Data science is a democratizing technology. Machine learning is a democratizing technology. All you really need is internet. If you have access to the internet, you can teach yourself anything. I mean, I believe that universities are not necessarily essential for becoming a data scientist or machine learning engineer or whatever, because you could learn what they could teach you at university somewhere on the internet.
Before you just jump into it being a fuzz or an interesting career at the moment, you need to understand the pressures that come with it, and you need to be someone who has an eye for detail. You need to develop that skill, not just for you to implement in your job, but you need to be able to have an eye for detail.
It's only looking, back that the dots are connected. But from the time I was starting this career, I couldn't see anything. I was just moving forward. So, first of all, there's always a reason why someone wants to start a career in one field. There's always a reason. My advice is, first of all, try and identify the why you want to start a career in this field or that field. because that reason will be the seed that will keep you going when you come across difficult time.
And I think curiosity is your number one friend. I initially got into economics because I was curious about the incentives that people had in making decisions. And then I found out that curiosity naturally, adapted to trying to solve problems using data science. That it's essentially just a lot of curiosity and just trying to get to the bottom of things.
One thing that I loved when I got into the tech space, I realized that the tech space is so community-based. It almost feels like everyone wants you to make it. I've never, not I think I have never quite experienced that in an industry where everything is about community. There's so many projects, platforms and institutions that are trying to support novice or startup data scientists. So there's so many opportunities online, not just in Africa, but even outside Africa. There's so many platforms to help you get started. But I would say what has worked wonders for me right now is getting acquainted with the World Quant program, the Data Lab program. It's very, very good for those who want to start. And you can never go wrong with Data Camp. I think Data Camp organizers are heroes. And yeah, also trying to sign up for boot camps. It could be 8-week boot camps. It could be 12-week boot camps.
I would say they should work on projects. They should find some problems and try to solve them. If they feel they don't have the skills to be able to solve that, they should then learn, Google or ask people for help, and then work on projects.